Hi, I'm Steve. This is Fran. Today we are ranking induction ranges from 30 to 48, right?
Absolutely. So we're going to really stick with the professional ranges here, and let's kind of kick it right off. Let's start with Wolf. Definitely one of the more popular ones, kind of right off the bat.
Wolf Gourmet will figure out time, temperature, and rack position when you tell what it wants. It's got decent power in the top, although nothing crazy outstanding. You're buying it basically for their new controls that look like a Pro range. You know, the Gourmet, which will figure out your food, and the Vertaflow convection.
Yep. And
Right.
it comes really in all sizes now too. So 30, 36, and 48. You know, one thing obviously we always like to point out with the 48, it is 100 amps, so
Yeah.
250 amp circuit, just something to be aware of. But as far as the range goes and how much it's featured, I'd say I would definitely put it kind of towards the top of the list there with the induction ranges. I really like it. I love the Wolf Gourmet. I think it's really easy as far as kind of cooking that way. What do you think for an overall ranking there?
I would say A.
Yeah.
100 amps is a lot of power for a 48-inch range. And you're talking about something that's, you know, probably the most expensive on this list, would you say?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely right up there. So let's give it an A.
All right.
All right, next one. Let's go Fisher Paykel. Couple different styles here with Fisher Paykel.
Yeah, really. Which one are we rating? The commercial or the regular one?
I'd say the Pro to kind of be the more comparable, but they do, like you said, have that classic / contemporary one that's more European, shallow depth.
Red, white, and black.
Yeah, less electronics, but let's focus on the Pro to be more comparable here.
Fisher Paykel's done a nice job with induction. You know, they've done well in cooktops. On the cooktops, it's 5,500 watt. Typically, the average that you're going to get, you should expect about 3,700 watt, which is still better than a 25,000 B2 gas. It's faster. I like the unit. I like it. It's more cost effective than Wolf. It gives you modes, but doesn't give you the gourmet type features.
Correct.
So yeah, I like the range because you do get many different styles. You have the 7-inch display. I mean, I wish I had thought of 7-inch displays. I could probably make a ton of money. Everyone
They're
has them.
everywhere now.
Blue Star, Wolf,
Yeah.
Fisher Paykel. But you don't get the same guided cooking as Wolf, but you don't have the same expense as Wolf, and
Exactly.
you don't have 100 amps. You only need 50.
Yeah.
I like the range for the price.
For sure. And another one, too, that is available really in all sizes, 30, 36, and 48. One of the first ones in 48. Although when you look at the 48, not as many zones as if you compare it to like the newer Wolf 48-inch. But overall, what do you think for a ranking?
I like the range from a price standpoint and the fact that it's unique and it's got a lot of cooking modes. I would say it's not as featured as Wolf, but it's $5,000 less than a 48. I'd probably put it in the A category as well. Something you should consider, and then you decide what features are right for you between the two. And then what's next?
Let's go Thermador. So Thermador now, 30 and 36. No 48-inch option yet.
I mean, selfishly, you know, they've got the Liberty technology where you basically can heat shift the pan.
Yeah, which is
right?
nice.
So
yeah.
you can boil, warm, simmer, warm, and set it from the factory, right? I love the top. At the same time, would you ever do that? I don't think I ever would. I don't
Me
think I'd ever
personally, no.
go through the instructions, set it
Yeah.
from the factory, and then you'd have to reset it if you want like a different combination. I like the top because it's all bridged. Good. As far as the oven's concerned, you don't get any kind of modes or flexible cooking, and it's basic single convection.
Exactly.
So you do get the rebate, the 1-2 free rebate, but I would say it's a strong B.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I really like the top. Like you said, they make really good induction technology kind of across the BSH line, but the oven itself is definitely needs some updating.
Yeah,
there,
the
for
oven
sure.
needs updating.
Yeah.
And their cooktops, we're talking about cooktops, they're the most reliable cooktop you can buy. So good story on the range side, decent top if you do what they say you claim you can do, but the bottom, you can do better.
Yeah. All right, let's go to SKS. Again, really only in a 36-inch right now, but more to come.
We tested that. It's got a 7,000 watt element.
Mm-hmm.
To give you an idea what a 7,000 watt induction element will do, it boils less than 3 minutes and 30 seconds versus 13 minutes and 30 seconds for a 23,000 B2 power burner. Plus, you had to shut it off at 3:30 or it would have boiled over. Gas is a rolling boil. What I like about it is you get that swipe screen that we all use in our phones.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of modes. You got the steam assist. So if you want to bake breads, you know, we talk about electric ovens like they're better. you know, they're not as good as roasting. So if you got a roast and you put some steam in it, where you're going to get a much better flavor. I really like this 36-inch range. There isn't much it doesn't do.
Yeah. It tests also for a lot of people where you're not sure how well your pan will work on induction. It has the ability to test the pan to see what the ferrous metal content in there is as well.
Yeah, you hit the button, hit the little thing in the left-hand corner, and it'll give you the ferrous metal content.
Yep.
This is the best, I think, 36-inch range, price feature-wise, that you can buy. You got to be comfortable with the name, where they have service in your area and everything else.
Yeah.
You know, we service what we sell, so it's not a problem. But I would say for 36, this is probably an S.
Ooh, okay, let's go.
What do you think? I mean,
I love it in a 36. There's definitely more sizes to come, so I'm curious to see kind of what they come out with in a 48 and 30 at some point. But I love the 36. I love the look. I love the electronic display on each individual knob as well. Kind of makes it really easy to cook.
And you got the timers on the knobs
exactly.
too.
Yep.
But it doesn't shut them off.
Yeah, correct.
Can't shut them off.
Yep.
Except on sous vide, it'll shut you off. But that's
all right.
a different range. All right.
Let's go Aga. A little different with the Aga range for sure.
If you want French country look, this is the cheapest way of getting it. If you boil, it's nice because it's got the waist-high broiler. It's got the swing doors, but you got to like the way it actually operates, because you got smaller ovens, kind of cut up a little bit, beautiful colors, French country. So it's probably an S if you're looking for that, but probably a B for anything else, because I think the ovens are really small.
Yeah, very shallow depth. It's definitely a different look when you're comparing it to like a La Cornue or something like that, more so than a full professional range.
Yeah.
B, so we'll go with a B there. How about JennAir?
Well, JennAir, they've got two different styles.
Yeah, Rise and Noir, yeah.
And they do have the nice menu option and everything else. It's just, you know, we don't sell JennAir, so I would, and we were the ones that actually just removed them from the stores. So I think it's a line, it's a B. This product is okay, I think.
Yeah, and I think
I like the cooking gourmet thing is decent. The center.
Yeah,
cuisine,
the culinary center is definitely their best feature.
Very, very good feature.
Yeah.
Decent to look at. I would consider it. We don't sell it.
Yeah. Mila. So Mila, again, in a 30 and a 36 right now.
Yeah. When you're talking about Mila, that Master Chef they have two different steps. The Mila Master Chef makes steam assist easy. You just hit a button. I think it's the most intuitive cooking you can buy, right? I like the new 36, the new 30. They have bridge elements finally.
Yeah, exactly.
And they have the cheaper version, but the Master Chef with steam assist, if you want to bake a bread, you hit a button.
Yeah.
And it's the best. Them and Wolf have figured out controls better. But I think Mila with steam assist even takes that better. This is a really solid A for someone who knows how to cook and will use steam. If you don't, it's a B.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
Feature-wise, it's not worth it.
And like you said, really the two steps, and you know, the more expensive here is definitely worth the upgrade when it comes to Mila, with the bridge elements, the better control system, the steam assist, wireless temperature probes, like just a lot of really nice features there. I would definitely say the step up is well worth it on the Mila for sure.
This is an A. This is an A, but if you don't use the steam assist, it's a B.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Monogram.
Monogram is very interesting. It's deeper,
Yeah.
so it fits more, but it does stick out a little bit. This is a love-hate thing. It's got those digital controls that you finger up both ways.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think they did it better than the old Wolf. But it's different controls that you either like or not. I like Monogram because for most people, they still service what they sell, which is a huge advantage, especially in induction, because induction on a 50 amp line, you can get a blown control board with a voltage spike. So I like the range. I don't think the features are similar to anything we've mentioned.
Of course, like everybody, they do have that 7-inch LCD display, which is nice. But again, nothing that really stands out above.
But you do get service, and for that, it's something you should consider for a high-end range. So I would say it's a B on features, an A for or an S on service, even. You know.
All right, that wraps it up. That's all the brands.
That's your induction for something professional induction.
Professional induction, yeah.